This is a recording of a live that I did probably a couple of weeks ago. I wasn't able to post it right away, but it's better late than never. Welcome, guys. Welcome to my live. I'm here at my garden here in Riverside, my backyard. Uh, with spring just started late last month, so this is just the first few weeks of spring. So I was hoping to get more flowers. The first flowers that came out are already wilted, so I'm hoping for more flowers. So this is my garden here, and I'm trying to revive this plant here in the back. Okay, I'm watering now the back side of my yard. This plant here is called a citronella plant. This is supposed to ward off bugs. It has a certain smell, which I think wards off bugs. They usually use the smell is usually the scent is usually used in making candles. That's why you have citronella candles to ward off insects or bugs. And then of course this is an orange geranium. Geranium also, the scent is used in a lot of fragrances because it does have a very nice fragrance. Now you can see here my variegated bougainvillea. I was trimming the bougainvillea out in the front, and see, I have a lot of scratches in my hand because I normally don't use gloves whenever I do gardening. So that's one of the dangers. And this one here is a red geranium. Now I have some symbodium hang here, and I don't see any blooms here, but you will see later on in another section of the yard, I have several symbodium that are currently in bloom. Okay, but this one, I don't see any blooms here. They're more on that side, the far end of the east side of no, west side of my yard. Okay, now let's go here. I just had a gardener hired last week to cut off my grass. For a while, I didn't have any. A gardener hired last week to cut off my grass. For a while, I didn't have any gardener, and I don't have the equipment. So last time, I, you see that aloe vera there? That that started as small 6-inch pots that you buy at the Home Depot. It started as that, and then I planted it on a bigger pot, and before I knew it, it became huge. So now I planted it on the ground, and it just didn't stop growing. I'm even afraid to go near it because the spikes on the side have become very, very sharp, you know. But if I go near, the very tip of that aloe vera is as tall as me. Well, I'm not really tall, I'm short, so as short as me, I guess. So I have more geranium here. And all these birds of paradise, you see them? There you go. They have a lot of flowers. They came out in spring, and I think they will stay until summer. See, they're like flowers everywhere. I just love birds of paradise because they have these vibrant flowers. This one, the flowers are already gone. My plumeria, the leaves have still not grown out. They all fell down in winter. So eventually you will have more leaves in summer, and hopefully they will be blooming in summer. Okay, now this purple plant here, leaves art, is called Wandering Jew. It's usually used as a ground cover, which I used here, although there are some aloe vera planted there. And then this tree in the middle is a peach tree, which I got for free from the city of Riverside. Every March, which was last month, our electric bill is printed on a green paper, and then we bring that to the nursery nearby here, and I got a free tree for that. That happens every year. That's the reason why I have a lot of trees, because I get them free every year. So this is a grapefruit, a very prolific one. You see a lot of fruits that fell down, but there's still some fruits here. Let me see. Yeah, see there? Still a lot of fruits. There you go. I'm taking blood thinners, so I cannot eat the grapefruit. That's one of the fruits that was forbidden to be eaten by me. Okay, or anybody taking statins, the blood thinners. And these are supposed to be my roses, but I don't know if they just lost. I'm trying to, like, this one's really totally dead. I'm trying to grow a rose cutting here, and I think this has to be replaced. I don't think these are actual rose branches, but merely runners, so I won't be expecting any flowers from this. I have to replace that. This one, okay, that has a small flower there already. Okay, and this one has a lot of flowers, but I still have to fill up the drum with more soil, with more dirt. This one too. Oh God, I have to put more soil here. Actually, there's no soil here, so I have to put soil there. That's kind of I forgot the name of that. It's kind of an orchid, I guess, but then of course here's another aloe vera here. I forget the name of these yellow flowers. They always come out early spring or just before spring, and then they die quick. They only stay for like a few weeks, and then the flowers wilt down. But they are very beautiful yellow flowers. I tried to Google the name. I forgot when I bought them, so I don't have the name. I really thought they were called amaryllis, but it seems like they're not. So it's either a daylily or a lily, or even somebody gave me a daffodil. I don't know if that's a daffodil, or I don't know. But they're very pretty yellow flowers. See there? There's more there. And of course, this big tree here is an avocado tree, which I grew from a seed. Would you believe that? It came from a seed. It's almost like 4 years now. And I don't know if it's the location where I planted it, or it's because it's not a self-pollinating tree, but it has not given me a flower or a fruit in the last 4 years. so, so I'm hoping to get more electric bills from my friends who live in Riverside, because I want to get a self-pollinating avocado tree from the nursery. Okay. So I have another plumeria here. This is another seed-grown avocado. And here is a blue agave set against the setting sun of Riverside. I love this blue agave. This is the second blue agave I had here, a centerpiece. There was one before that grew really huge, and then of course eventually it died. But I really like it as a centerpiece because of how the leaves open up. It's not even as healthy now because I could not pull out the old agave roots. What I did is I just planted a small agave on top of it, and it grew, but I think the roots are fighting with the old roots, the system of roots that were already there. So it's not growing as healthy, but it's still growing. Okay, let me just pull more of the hose because it's getting tied up somewhere here. Let me see. God, my hose is leaking, but I had no option I can't buy a new one. I'm not, my finances will not allow me to do that. I'm really living under a budget right now because I'm not working. I'm still having my, how do you call this? Trying to get well. I'm still seeing a therapist for my mental health issues. So it's difficult for me to hold a job. I can't focus. So I'm just staying home. I'm hoping to have one of my videos go viral. Seems like TikTok is the only hope these days. So I have several blue agaves here. There. See? In there. And I have a lemon tree here in the back. So scared to go near that tree because there is an enclosure at the very corner, which is technically owned by the city because that's where the post, the electric post, comes from or is planted. Is that the right word? Inside that enclosure. And one time we saw a molten snake skin here. So since then, I'm so scared to go to that corner. Now, my friend told me that it was just a garden snake variety, which is common since I have a lot of plants and they kind of create or maintain the ecosystem here because when you have a lot of plants you also have a lot of night crew, which is right. um, I have a lot of gophers that just when I first moved here you can see a lot of like diggings, a pile of dirt where the gophers dug out where they came out, but I don't see a lot of them anymore. Either the snake has gotten to them or I don't know. But we still see occasionally a skunk, you know, and I haven't actually seen a possum, but my friend told me that it will not be impossible to see a possum in this area, so I don't know. It's like a different ecosystem at night. That's why I don't usually go out at night in the garden. I've tried to put up lights, so as much as possible I would do that even when there are lights, or I just stay in the center areas. Okay, so I have more Symbodium here. The previous years, these were very prolific, but this year I don't see any blossom coming out. So I don't know if it's just the year or maybe next year I'll have a better luck with the Symbodium here. Symbodium are also called boat orchids. They're really, really, really pretty. I'll show you the blossoms on the other side. And I have a lot of succulents. This one is called burro's tail. I forgot the name of this one here. That says burro's tail. And of course that's aloe vera. And I have more of these orchids here, but this is not Symbodium. I just don't know the name of this one. And then I have more. I have some geranium planted in that drum there in the corner. I'm just afraid to go very near. That's the enclosure I'm talking about, and you see the post coming out of it. And then this is my that's a pear tree. I just leveled it, cut it, because it grew so tall I couldn't even reach the fruits. Although there were only like 3 or 4 fruits. It wasn't very prolific. So I cut the tree, and hopefully this year I'll see more. Okay. And those are called mother-in-law tongue or snake plant. And more geranium here. Geranium actually is the easiest plant to grow here. I like them because it's easy, and then they really have pretty flowers. I like the flowers. And there's a plumeria in that pot there. It's hard to plant directly on the ground here because this is where I think a lot of animals burrow or they dig holes. Because one time I was digging through something. I think this is why the peach tree fell here. When I dug into the ground, it was almost hollow. So I think there's a lot of like tunnels dug by animals in that corner, in that side. So the peach tree just died. The peach tree died there. And I have a big pot of mother-in-law tongue here. And I forgot the name of this plant here. This one is also one of the easiest ones to grow. You just stick it in the ground and then it grows. Stick it into dirt and it grows. This is bunny's ears, another succulent. I'm so scared to go near that because even a whiff of wind, these spikes here would stick to your clothes, to your skin. Spikes here would stick to your clothes, to your skin, and they're like pest. Spikes here would stick to your clothes, to Wood Falls. But there's also orchid on the other side. I forget the name of this orchid here. You know. And this one is another Cymbidium Wood Falls. But there's also orchid on the other side. I forget the name of this orchid here. You know. And this one is another Cymbidium. I keep saying Symbodium. It's Cymbidium Wood Falls. But there's also orchid on the other side. I forget the name of this orchid here. You know. And this one is another Cymbidium. I keep saying Symbodium. It's Cymbidium. And I have more plants here. I've had this for a while. And I have more plants here. I've had this for a while. I forgot their names now. And I have more plants here. I've had this for a while. I forgot their names now. I think these are finger plants or finger cactus or something because the leaves, they look like fingers. And I forgot the next one because when you grow them, there. And those bushes, actually that's the other side of the yard. Okay. I know that watering would take about 30 to an hour, so I thought I'll go live. At least, I can talk while I'm watering the plants. So, I have a very old pool. The copings are already crumbling, but of course, I have no money to fix that. So, I just have to be careful. See, falling apart. Okay. So, these are, I forgot the name of this plant. Oh, but I like this. And then this is a pink geranium. Yeah. And this is a grafted plant. It's called a lime quat. So this is a lime and a quat lime quat. So they come out like a stone fruit. There's a big seed in the middle and very sour. I don't even know how to use it, or and definitely you cannot just eat it because it's really sour unless you use it like a tamarind, like you cook it and use it to sour your soup or something. And of course this is a hibiscus, which is fighting to stay alive. Just one day that you forget to water this plant, maybe because I planted it in a drum or in a pot drum, the leaves turn yellow right away, But in summer, this has very beautiful yellow flowers. So whenever I get the chance to water this, I really fill it to the brim, the water. And this is a lantana. This one has beautiful orange flowers, but this one is not very prolific with flowers, unlike the other lantana that I have there in the corner, the lavender lantana there, because that one is really prolific. The whole plant is filled with flowers. But this one somehow doesn't, You just see flowers, little flowers or none. And more of this yellow plant, which I don't know the name of. Okay. And then still the pink hydrangea, pink geranium, very pretty. I really like this. Now on this particular pot, it's supposed to be a rose plant here, but it died. So I just threw several seeds of, those envelope of seeds that they sell at the dollar store. So I came up, I don't know, these flowers came out. They kind of look pretty. This blue one looks pretty. So that this came out from those wildflower envelopes that you see at the dollar store. And even this rose is not surviving, so I may have to pull this out and just replace it. Okay. This one. Oh, now this has a bloom coming out. Another rose here. And this is a crepe myrtle tree with white flowers. I wish I had gotten the pink one, but I thought I have so many pink flowers already, so I thought the white would break it, because I have these pink geraniums here, and I have this pink wall here of climbing geranium. This it's called the climbing geranium. We're gonna have this bright or dark pink bougainvillea here. So pink, 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 and I thought I'll have a white crepe myrtle to break the color. But it won't come out. The flowers won't come out until summer, I guess. Okay. And the leaves are just coming out because all the leaves fall out in winter. Okay. This one is a fire stick. I'm very careful in breaking the branches here because the sap of this plant is very irritating. Can be even toxic to dogs. So, but my dogs, I think, no, because they don't even go near this plant. They don't go near that. And I have a plumeria planted here in the back. You see my style of planting is just like bunching them, like go near that. And I have a plumeria planted here in the back. You see my style of planting is just like bunching them, like plant here, plant there. If there's a space, plant. There's another orange geranium and a citronella plant here. I try to put the citronella plants in the corner so that they can ward off insects. Okay. And actually there is a wild climbing rose somewhere. I don't even know where this came out of, but every time it flowers, it's just beautiful. So this is a climbing rose. Very beautiful red flowers. They will come out soon. But I'm trying to look at the actual, like base of it, and I still couldn't find it somewhere here. And of course, this is a jasmine. I don't know why the leaves are like this. It's like it needs water or something. And you don't see flowers here this season. On the other side, you will see jasmine that are flowering. And believe me, my west side of the yard, it smells so good in the morning when the wind blows and then the jasmine smell just permeates the air. Oh my God, it's really beautiful in the morning. And this is a flowering peach tree. So this one will give me beautiful pink flowers, but the fruits will not be edible. And I don't really mind. I mean, I have a lot of peach trees that actually give me fruits. I can't finish them. So just the beautiful flowers in winter is enough for me. And then I planted some seeds of tomatoes here, which is enough for me. And then I planted some seeds of tomatoes here, which I hope would grow fully because I just threw them there. So there's several tomato plants. I think I'm supposed to declog them or remove some so that others would grow. But I'm so afraid to pull out and just kill all of them. So they're still there, you know. Then I have a plumeria growing here, which I'm hoping would grow tall and provide a background. And this one is, I threw some potatoes that have had sprouts. I mean, I guess we didn't cook them right away. They had started to have sprouts. And so what I did is I just threw them here or pushed them to the ground. And before I knew it, they're starting to grow. You know, so maybe after a few months or weeks, we will have potatoes here in that pot. Okay. It's one of the fruit trees I got from the city of Riverside. This is an orange tree. The blossoms also smell nice. There were several blossoms before, unless they all fell already. Yeah, so I think it's starting to become fruits now. Oh, the orange blossoms, the lemon blossoms. These are lemons here. Oh, this yard, this portion of the yard, the smell can just be, the scent can just be intoxicating. You have the jasmine scent, the scent of the lemon tree blossoms, the scent of the orange blossoms. This is really like a, how do you call that, olfactory experience here, you know? And then, of course, the grass is not really growing so well. You know, so I tried to cover this with grass when I first moved. But like I said, there would be mounds of like earth because gophers were digging out of it, and I just gave up. So I just wasted so much money planting or having, when you buy the, how do you call that? The grass that's already like in patches, and then you fill this up with those patches, and they're kind of expensive actually. And then at first they look nice, and then suddenly you see holes, mounds of earth because the gopher were like digging from it, or out of it. Okay. And this, of course, is another plumeria which I cut from that plumeria there. I have a lot of plumeria. I just cut this branch and stick it into this earth here, into this pot of soil here. I have a lot of drums because I used to work in a manufacturing company. We make skincare products and hair care products, and the ingredients to make shampoos and conditioners, they come in drums. And he would usually just dispose of the drums, give them away. And I brought some home, cleaned them, made holes, and used them as big pots. Okay. I really didn't like planting on the ground because of the mounds of earth I saw because of the gophers digging out of them. So I thought I'll just be planting in pots. And I think the pots became better, easier to work with, because if I need to change the location of the plant, I could just move the pot easily. Okay, and then again, another of the trees I got. This is a pomegranate tree. So I just cut this short. I cut all the branches out because the leaves all fell in winter. So it was easy to trim them because you just see branches. So I cut all the branches because it's so hard to work with tall trees. I mean, I can't get their fruits anyway, so I try to control their height. Like this one, you see, I couldn't even reach some of the lemons here because they're so tall. You know, so I wish I was able to like control their height when this was growing. But so now I just wait for the lemons to fall, and then pick them up. I don't even bother climbing the tree or I don't know, using those sticks to get them. So these are the Symbodium I was talking about here. On this side, you see a lot of pretty Symbodium here. Like this one, see here? How pretty that is. Like I said, these are also called boat orchids because of the shape. See the middle part? Looks like a boat or something, I guess. And then there's more here. This one I really love because it's like a bunch of grapes, like just coming out, going down, See that vertical? And then more here. See how beautiful these are. By the way, if you're liking this live, please, please, please just hit the hearts. If you can even hit the diamond, I would really appreciate it. It's really a great motivation for me to do more lives. If those people who can see me now can show their appreciation by hitting the hearts and the likes. So if you're liking what I show you, just please hit the likes. I'd really appreciate that. Okay, so here's more red geranium here. You see, how nice the flowers come out on the screen? It seems like they're glowing. I don't know if I don't know if it's the color of the sky or the light coming, because it's like what, dusk now? Is that how you call it? Dusk? When the light and the dark kind of like twilight, I guess. Is that it? When the light and the dark kind of start mixing. I guess it's twilight, right? Like the vampire movie, because it's starting to get dark and the vampires come alive. So this is an Asian guava. The fruits are really, really small, but very, very sweet. When I'm working in the yard, I'll just pick one, eat, pick another one, eat, because the fruits are really very sweet. Okay, and I have some plants around it. Like I have this bird of paradise, a plumeria here, some succulents here, aloe vera, this cactus here. You know, I used to have roses here, but they did not really grow. I don't know if it's the location or something. And then this fire stick. This fire stick used to be huge, and it became too huge for the container, so I had to like cut half of it. So that's actually just half of the size that it was before. You know. Okay, so let's go back to this side here. This is a Swiss cheese plant. Sometimes I'm surprised how people have this smaller version inside their house of this plant, the Swiss cheese, because mine really grows big. You know, look at the leaves. Like, I don't know how I can fit that in my house. You know, and this is the hibiscus I was talking about earlier. So let's put more water here. I just want to like really wet the dirt, you know, because I know I won't be able to water that for another day or two. The thing with I'm still battling my depression and anxiety. It's so hard. I cannot work on a schedule. My days really depend on how I wake up that day. Schedule. My days really depend on how I wake up that day. Or how the day comes out. So there are days when I would just stay in bed, play with my babies, my doggies. Or there are days wherein, you know, becomes happy. So I come out. Today is supposed to be Thursday, my therapy day. But my therapist office called me. She's out of the office, so I didn't get my therapy session today. So instead of working with a therapist, I'm now talking to all of you. You are now my therapist today. So I hope you don't mind listening to me. It's starting to get dark, so I hope we can do more here. Okay, let's move on to the other side of this yard. Okay, so this is the front of that Asian guava. Okay, so I have more succulent plants here, another plumeria here, and this yellow plant that I still don't remember the name of. And this is one of those wildflowers again. But look how pretty the flowers came out. And I also stuck a branch of the plumeria here, hoping that it would grow here. So basically, if you look at my garden, I just plant anything everywhere. Hopefully they'll stick, you know. Because a lot of this is just cut a stem or a branch, stick into the ground. Even this rose, it was just a branch that I just stuck into this pot and it grew, you know. This is another, look at this. I think this is not surviving. Look, it looks dry. I think it needed sun exposure. And this corner doesn't have any sun exposure. Now, this is what I'm talking about earlier. Lantana with a lot of flowers. This is my lavender lantana. I like this one here because the flowers are really a lot when they come out. So this is a very prolific lantana here. And look at the riverside. Is that horizon? So it's just the sky and roofs, not the horizon. But you can see the sun setting already. And providing a foreground is my peach tree. So my peach tree here, which has already leaves. Just a couple of weeks ago, these were just like dark pink roses, flowers, and now you see leaves. You still see the remnants of the flowers, but they're all dropping now. So just this one. Oh, I guess I think my bulb went out. Okay, I'm not supposed to touch the right. Okay, no. because my hands are wet. So we'll work on that later. Okay, so I have more Symbodium here. I really surrounded this tree. This is a magnolia tree. I really surrounded this with or hang a lot of Symbodium here from the branches because during summer the leaves provide cover to the Symbodium. Yeah. So they don't really dry up. Although sometimes they still do dry up because it gets too hot in the summer. The riverside hot can be the riverside sun can be very brutal. It can get into the 3 digits here in Riverside during summer, so it can get really very hot. Okay, but I still see some very beautiful blooms here. You see this beautiful yellow Symbodium here. Yeah. So when I feel down, I try to get the energy to come out here in the garden and just enjoy the beautiful things that I've got. You know, sometimes it does lift the spirits when you know you have a lot of beautiful things surrounding you. You know, this is what I'm talking about earlier. I have a lot of star jasmine that just grew into this yellow. Oh my God, I forgot the name of this tree here. Anyway, the I forget the name. Anyway, these trees here, and then the jasmine just like grew up into the tips of the trees, you know, and then the flowers, the blooms are so, oh my God, very intoxicating. Okay, let me put the hose in the pool. I need to fill it anyways because if you look at closely, yeah, it's lower than where the water level should be. So because the water should be able to come out of that hole for the filter to work on the water. So basically, this is my garden at twilight. I tried to put as much lights as I can around. There was a light there, but I guess it's down. I have to find a new bulb or buy a new bulb, you know. So this is, oh, I forgot to water my attager of succulents here. See, I have this stand here where I put some succulents here. And I also have this partially covering it now, smudged fire stick. Okay, so these are called cathedral cactus. Cathedral because I guess the leaves when they come out they look like those cathedral windows. This of course aloe vera. I don't know if this is called zebra aloe vera or just variegated aloe vera. And this one is a jade, I think a variation of a jade plant. Not so sure. I need to water this. I forgot to water it when I had the hose here earlier. Okay. And this is a plant that grows out of leaves. So basically when I moved here, I have very few plants. You know, I could only, I think I spent I think around 800 when I moved here like 15 years ago, 10 years ago. And I bought a lot of plants. With that, I went to the nursery and just pointed. And then I thought, oh, this will be good. Anyway, a lot of plants died. A lot of plants survived. So I knew already, oh, only these plants would survive with my care. So I kept those plants. And then the succulents, I just, you know, Googled how they multiply. And then they multiplied, you know. Aloe vera, you will soon see a lot of poppies like this one here. Now it's so tight, I can actually get this out of the container and separate this into several pots because these are several aloe vera here. And then I have some buru's tail here also. So this pot alone can have several pots already, you know. See this? Just so many. I mean, you start with just one or two and then the poppies come out on the sides. And then you can replant them, separate them, replant them. I just got the containers from the Dollar Tree, like this one's from the Dollar Tree. It needs to be replaced now. It's already rusting and everything. Even my sayings, don't like throwing away stuff. I just glue it, put it back, you know. Even this broken pot here, I don't throw it away. I'll find a use for that sometime, you know. So I have more of these bunny's cactus here, bunny's ears. I wanted to replant this also, but I'm just not ready to handle it yet. And then more of the variegated aloe vera. And this is supposed to be a ball cactus, but it didn't really come out like a ball. It grew taller, you know. So, anyways, and this is an old barbecue. I mean, I don't even know why I bought this barbecue. I thought I could barbecue like in the sunroom or something, you know, small barbecue. But at that time, I couldn't put it together. You know, like put the stand in and something, and then I don't know. I just put it on the side. Before I knew it, I could see some rust coming out of the legs. So I thought, you know what? I'll just make it into a pot. So it is now. I haven't used it as a barbecue thing. Now it's a pot. So I just planted stuff in it, and again the stuff just grew and became tight. So this one just totally covered the ground, the dirt, and this is supposed to be like this one here, but I guess if it just, you know, either I did not water it, or it just wilted, or it just are too old and the new ones are coming out. So I have some kinds of aloe vera here, and then this is a triangle cactus. See, you have the three sides of this cactus here. So it's called a triangle cactus. There. And then a small branch of the fire stick in the middle. Yeah. I use these soda bottles to water because sometimes I'm afraid to just hose it, you know, so it's easier for me to do watering with a small container like this. See, I have burro's tail here too, you know. There you go. And this is, I have more stuff in here. I just got this actually from the dollar store because I have a lot of poppies, these aloe vera poppies that came out. So I have to find places for them to plant into. So I have this one. I just planted this today actually. And this one I think was like 2 weeks ago. So eventually this will cover the same way that it covered there. It will cover the ground here, you know. And then this one is an aloe vera, which I hope would still be alive. I think it will survive. Okay, so I have more here. I like the burro's tail because the way it drops, so cute. And this thing is, I think, called a string of pearls because they look like pearls. String of pearls. It's also called the rosary plant, you know. So I have it there. See how long it goes down there? Really long. The string of pearls. Okay, another cymbidium here. I have several cymbidium there. They multiply a lot and quick, so I just buy hanging pots from the dollar store and then separate them and then plant them. So before I knew it, I have a lot of hanging cymbidium. Anyway, it's getting dark, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I do hope you can hit the like button before I go. Just give me one more love before we go. Thank you so much for joining, and I hope I'll see you in my next live. Have a good one, guys. Good night. Bye-bye.